And as an Android user, I mean, I use both phones, but Apple Watch over here for the iPhone. I'm happy to drop a Pebble on this wrist for the other one, and I think I'm going to be the dual watch. Yeah,
I will not allow it. 2 watches?
Why
There's
not?
something about
What is
having
wrong
like
with
the
you?
super simple Pebble Watch on one hand and the Apple Watch Ultra 2 on the other. We're calling it the Pebble Watch announcement because it is a company from the creator. What's Eric? Do you know how to pronounce his last name?
Mikachowski.
No, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, Mijakowski.
Mijakovsky.
Okay. Thank you.
So he created a new company called Core Devices. I think you all talked about this a few weeks ago.
We did.
And I missed that conversation. So I don't know what you all said about it.
We knew that this was coming. We didn't know exactly what it would look like or how it would manifest, but the idea of bringing a simple smartwatch back that pairs to your phone appealed to basically all of us. We thought that was a cool idea. We had a lot of nostalgic thoughts about our old Pebbles and how much we liked them and how e-ink seems to be a great idea and a long battery life on a smartwatch could be awesome. So now we actually can see what it looks like, which is about what we expected, I would say. Same shape.
It's a new company called Core Devices, and they announced 2 watches that they plan on bringing out this year. And same shape, you are very right, because while this isn't actually Pebble, it is still very along the same lines of what Pebble was when they were 8 years ago, I think. So open source operating system, it's like e-ink, display, great battery life. And in fact, they're using some old Pebble parts in some of the watches.
That's nice.
So yes, it does look similar because the Core Duo 2, not a confusing name at all, considering that's an old Intel processor.
Core 2 Duo.
Yeah.
It's called the Core 2 Duo.
It's called the Core... Is it?
Core 2 Duo. The same name as the Intel
Core
chip.
2 Duo, yeah.
Wow.
And they said this is basically the Pebble 2 redone.
Sure.
So it's coming in at $149. It is the same frame as the Pebble Time 2 because they found someone with a bunch of extra parts that were never used. So they're literally using the same watch face exterior for it. Black and white paper, e-paper display, 30 days of battery life. It now has a speaker in the device to chat with AI assistants, and this one should be coming out in July. So that's the cheaper of the two. Then they also have the Core Time 2 or Core 2 Time. Now I don't know.
This is Core Time 2.
Time 2. That's probably why I got it
Slightly
confused.
confusing.
This is the more updated device, $225. It's going to have a touch screen. They don't want it to have super complicated apps, but they just still want the ability to navigate through touch operation versus only buttons. There still will be buttons. It's still 30-day battery life, still has a speaker. It has an upgraded chip that can do step and sleep tracking, and there's no official date on this, but they still said 2025.
Yeah. No, I like the way it looks a lot. I remember reviewing and I had a red Pebble with a black band, and the super long battery life, like week plus battery life, was already awesome about it. And getting used to testing all these other smartwatches like Moto 360 and Galaxy Watch at the time, which had like a day and a half battery, just made me wish I could have a week-long battery life on a smartwatch. So that was the number one thing I really liked. Obviously, the screen's not going to be nearly as bright or beautiful and won't show as much stuff. But if you don't care about that, if you just want time, temperature, basic status stuff, notifications, that's kind of all you need. And I am excited for these.
Me too. I kind of think I like the cheaper one better because I've been realizing, I'm now like 2 years into wearing this all the time. And just...
What is it?
My Phoenix 9? I forget exactly which one it was because they switched from the Epix brand, but Garmin.
Yeah, the Garmin.
I'm convinced this like circle is just like engraved into my wrist at this point. Every time I take it off, I go, that can't be good for me.
I took off my watch the other day and Jess was like, oh my God, what is that on your wrist?
Yeah.
It is the mark of having used a smartwatch for a long time.
It is. So I'm assuming the cheaper one, though, because it doesn't have the chip for sleep tracking and stuff. I'm assuming it doesn't have, it's just flat on the bottom. And I mostly just at this point want to tell time and get basic notifications. So that seems kind of awesome.
It seems also like this will be probably better for Android than for iPhone.
It says it in a lot of these articles, it specifically says it's still having some.
The idea behind that is Apple, when they make a first-party accessory to the iPhone, gives themselves more access to the iPhone than they give anyone else. So when they make headphones like AirPods or whatever, they don't give other Bluetooth headphone manufacturers the same access. And so inherently there will be features in Apple's accessory that aren't in others. That's true about, go down the accessory list about everything, And so smartwatches, they give lots of things, like lots of plugs to the Apple Watch that they will not give to any other smartwatch. Android, on the other hand, is Android. Just lets you flip the switches, turn on notifications for certain things, turn them off for certain things. And as an Android user, I mean, I use both phones, but Apple Watch over here for the iPhone, I'm happy to drop a Pebble on this wrist for the other one. And I think I'm going to be the dual watch. Yeah,
I will not allow it. 2 watches?
Why
There's
not?
something about
What is
having
wrong
like
with
the
you?
super simple Pebble Watch on one hand and the Apple Watch Ultra 2 on the other.
I gotta
which
put
is kind of
because
awesome.
a lot of the comments are echoing the same thing. Like once you have an Apple Watch, it's hard to give it up. You kind of get addicted to the notifications, the closing your rings, the things that it's good at. And I don't want to stop using the Apple Watch, but I also feel like I would flip it to theater mode and just kind of ignore it on my left wrist while I use the Pebble on the main wrist.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I still love this Garmin watch and I love the battery life, but at this point, I just don't have the time to go out and hike like I used to. So like this thing looks brand new, where my Epix 2 looked like it went through a war.
That thing was used.
It was used, yeah, and like, but I like the just quick time and the quick like text message checking.
Yep.
So I think I just want
But if you were on
Pebble.
iOS, you would also run into the same problems with your Garmin.
similar ones. Yeah, they're saying specifically like not being able to reply to notifications
Stuff like
inside with an iPhone or connected to an iPhone with Pebble.
Yeah, like Garmin
Stop
has like
calling
the
it
auto
Pebble.
replies. You know how you can like reply like, okay, yeah, like just the basic ones. You can't even do that on iOS.
It's so funny. Like I've been, like Lane's been asleep on me. Like I've been in her rocking chair and Claire's texting me and I only have my watch to reply. And I have to be like, which of these 7 replies best like explains what is happening? Now it's just like, okay, period. Let her decipher that one.
Good enough. Yeah. That is funny.
I do have one other smartwatch.
Yeah. What is this?
Maybe we shouldn't call it a smartwatch. But since we're talking about watches, I saw this. And we're talking about simple watches. This is the Atari 2600 My Play watch that just got announced. It is $80. Like Pebble, it feels extremely basic. Maybe more simplistic in some ways. There's no Bluetooth or Wi-Fi on this, so there are no notifications. But it's a watch styled after old Atari systems that can do some very basic fitness tracking, like step count, heart rate, and calories. Except you can't send it to your phone.
Yeah,
it's
not
just
gonna
on watch. But there are 4 Atari games you can play on it. Centipede, Missile Command, Pong, and Super Breakout.
on the watch?
On the watch, and it also has just like watch bands and watch faces that are very Atari-like, and all Atari sound effects for your alarms and not notifications, alarms and timers.
I'm developing a hot take in my head.
I don't think it will be that hot.
I
but-
just feel like nostalgia gets used to mask how bad products are sometimes. And if you build an entire product around one nostalgic thing, red flags just start going off in my head. And if I am part of the generation that cares about this thing, I'll probably just ignore it and just buy it because I love it. But why would I want to play Brick Breaker on my watch, you know?
First of all, Brick Breaker is not one of them.
Oh, sorry. Snake. Which one is the Atari ones?
Centipede, Missile Command, Pong,
Okay.
and Super
Do
Breakout.
I want to play Pong on my watch?
That
Damn
one
right
seems
you
like
want
the
to
most
play
confusing.
Pong on your watch.
So I have a question for Adam that I think might answer your question on this. Is like, it's $80. This is not the most expensive watch because this. I think we like watches like Garmin and Apple because they connect to our phone and therefore it feels like we have to wear them all of the time, right? We're always tracking our health metrics. We're wearing them all the time. Since this doesn't do this, is this now just a watch that is part of your watch collection, Adam, that you wear at certain times?
100%. I was going to say this looks like a watch that David would like because David wears like an old Casio that he had like someone rebuilds into some custom thing. This is that for him.
This feels like a watch that's part of your watch collection, and depending on the day, like
There are people
you
that will
pulled
just
this
have-
out.
break
yeah,
this
like
one out.
quirky watches.
What day do you
Airplane,
to the wedding? What day?
airplane with no Wi-Fi. You
definitely
want to
not the
play
wedding.
some Pong on your
Okay.
on the tarmac.
Because you have a phone, right? So I'm just trying to picture. Okay, today is the day I wear the Atari watch because I'm for sure gonna play.
But do you have Pong downloaded on your phone?
No,
So there you go.
fair. Okay, I forgot to download it on my phone, but
Hey,
I
you got
will
games on your
spend
watch?
$80 to have a watch that does
It
it.
looks pretty cool.
It does. I'm not gonna lie.
It
It's
looks
got
pretty
these nice
sweet.
colors. The watch band. It's got the retro color scheme on the watch band too. It's pretty cool.
I'm okay with this obviously is like we're 100% nostalgia. That's all we're going after for. And
Yeah.
not saying $80 is the cheapest, but $80 is probably if this was $25, I would just assume it's a piece of e-waste.
In watches, that's a splurge. You can like easily convince yourself to spend $80 on a cool little digital watch.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Would you spend $80 on an emulator app on your phone to do the exact same things?
No.
Absolutely.
But you
not.
would spend $80 on because $80 in an app world is a lot, and it would probably be better, but it's a lot in the app world. $80 in the watch world is a little, so you would spend it in the watch world.
Yeah, it's hardware.
Interesting.
There's a piece of like having it and being able to see it on you that's different than an emulator app.
It's still jewelry at the end of the day. Like it's just trying to tell people something about yourself. Like I'm an Atari nerd.
Yeah, there's
And I
there's
like
something
fun
to the
watches.
physical watch for sure.
If I spend $80 on a Pong app, no one knows I bought that app.
Yeah.
Until you break it out on the plane, the guy next to you is like, "Whoa,
Oh my God, is that the $80 Pong app? God, you're cool.
I wish I had that." Hey, thanks for watching that clip. I heard Google is having trouble keeping things from leaking, and another thing that leaked is that there's going to be a new animation when you click the subscribe button. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess you'll just have to click it to find out if it's shipped, but it's definitely going to happen soon.
From what I saw was pretty cool. The renders I saw.
The renders were sick. The concept videos were amazing. The leaks are everywhere.
Unboxing.
It went so hard.
You should try it out.
So yeah.
Also, it plays this sound. It's like the coolest sound. It's like the most beautiful sound you've ever heard. It'll
Yeah.
make you weep.
Turn your volume up.
Oh.